Hi, my name is Tom Macheski. I'm a libertarian from New Jersey and like to discuss alcohol. Now, normally, when you speak to a libertarian, the discussion's all about illegal drugs, marijuana, and harder drugs. But here in New Jersey, alcohol is very regulated and illegal in a lot of cases. It has a whole separate, probably books of law regarding alcohol. Anyway, so I'd like to talk about that. There's a strong history in New Jersey of alcohol dating back to the 1700s, where there was a lot of wineries and cider spirits. So it's historically been, we've been involved in alcohol with breweries and distilleries, wineries, etc. There was the Prohibition, obviously, in the 20s, and that ended in 1933. However, a lot of these laws continued on. And that's what we're dealing with now. They've just never come off the books, or they've actually evolved into other things. So there's things like dry towns, where towns that can't sell alcohol, and we can't go into parks. It's illegal to be in a park, a state park with alcohol. And I just question why we're still dealing with that. Why in today's day and age we don't have anything better to focus on than drinking. It hasn't stopped drinking. I think that drinking is accepted in from a social standpoint, and a lot of people drink, and a lot of people have tried it. I don't think it's really against the law. The underage part, they've boosted the age up to 21. That happened probably 30 years ago or so. I don't know the exact date. But why 21? Why not 18? What, or even lower? Why have any alcohol age? A lot of countries don't. And why not just be responsible? If everybody's responsible, I think it creates a black market to some extent with the underage drinking, and it creates a desire to drink more when you're denied it. Why not just not make a big deal about it? Let it happen. If somebody is underage and drinking, talk to them and have a discussion. Let's all be reasonable. I know that they're not, some people don't consider an 18-year-old an adult, but hey, they are. They can, obviously go. They're getting drafted into these ridiculous wars we have, but they can get arrested for having, an open bottle. New Jersey is one of the harshest as far as regulations and everything goes as well, because we have over 27 different types, we have actually 29 distinct liquor licenses, which is ridiculous. We have a manufacturer's license, a Class A, a wholesaler's license, a retailer's license, a transportation license, public warehouse licenses, and we also have special permits and everything else. The towns, so it's pushed that back to the towns, but the towns are only allowed one liquor license for every 3,000 residents in town. Why? When I grew up, there was a lot of small corner bars that people would go to. It was a social thing, maybe a chance to escape, or just a chance to relax, something that people enjoyed. Not always packed, they had a pool table there, and maybe just something to do on a Friday night, or whenever, maybe after work. And all of those seem to have closed, and they all, the direction that they appear to be going is into chains. Now, my feeling with this is that the regulations have become so over the top, and the licenses have become so expensive that these little, what used to be mom and pop and small business owners really can't afford to deal with all the headaches that there are with the licensing now. And it's very expensive. I mean, up to $500,000 in some places to get a liquor license. Why? So restaurants here in New Jersey, which is different, I believe, than other places, can't serve beer and wine. You have to have a liquor license. The same liquor license to serve beer and wine as it is to serve hard alcohol. So either they serve it all or they serve nothing. And we have BYO places, bring your own, and those are pretty popular. But I don't really see why it's such a big deal to have, why can't a pizza place serve a beer? Why, what's so bad about that? Why are we stopping that pizza place from having an opportunity to make a few more bucks on selling beer. What are we preventing there? You know, are we preventing people from drinking? No, it's a tax, right? We're pushing taxes. We're creating new sources of revenue. We're creating some kind of hierarchy. I don't really even know what, but we're pushing that where if somebody wants to drink, they actually have to go to a bar or they have to go to a liquor store. Also, hours of operation. Bars are very regulated. They have closing hours. I'm not really sure why a bar can't open at 3 o'clock in the morning and stay open. What if there's a night shift? What if you know have a company here that has a night shift? Maybe people after the night shift want to go and have a beer. Why is that an issue? And I think these are some of the things that are left over. Here in New Jersey, we have the drinking percent for driving is 0.08% of weight by percent weight by volume blood alcohol content, which is I believe it's low. It's probably you don't want to drive after that, but this is something that can ruin your life if you get pulled over with one of these, and it's non-expungible. So basically, once you get a DWI or a DUI on your license, there's no way to get it off that I know of. So if you have something, please. I don't have one, but maybe put something in the notes. But as far as I know that there's no way to get a DUI or a DWI off of your record. So basically, this could destroy your life, at least for a while, just to be, maybe having one drink too many. You didn't hurt anybody, maybe you weren't going that far. Not to say that any of this stuff is right or I'm condoning it in any way, but the penalties are fairly significant, especially if nobody got hurt. I don't believe there's a victim. I believe if there is a victim and somebody does get hurt for drunk driving, I think, hey, throw the book at them. Especially if they were doing something erratic, then they deserve whatever they deserve. However, in today's day and age, I would argue that at 0.08%, a person, which is just a couple of beers, a person texting can probably have the same impairment as somebody with 0.08. Again, I don't think it's a good idea to drive at that level, but there. Now, if you're underage, up to a 0.01% is you'll get in trouble and you'll lose your license. I don't even think you have to be driving. I think that could be if they I guess it is for driving, but if you get caught with alcohol underage, you lose your license, and there's a lot of things. And underage can mean you could be 20, you could be turning 21 next year, you could be in the military, you can be an engineer, who knows? But if you get caught with alcohol, you can end up losing your license, and actually spend up to 6 months in jail. But that's rarely imposed, and certainly fines and everything else. And also a big thing for me is just the open container policy in New Jersey. So it's illegal in New Jersey to have an open container, in the passenger portion of an automobile, and also in the state parks and forests, and I believe on the streets as well. It's all illegal. I don't get this. You know what? If I want to go to the park, why can't I go to a park and have a drink if I'm not being belligerent or if I'm not being loud? In today's day and age, they're complaining that not enough people go to parks. So why create these restrictions? If you have an empty park and I'm not bothering anybody, why is there a law? And what happens usually with these type of laws is, somebody's minding their business and it's maybe, somebody comes by and it's selective. If this is somebody that, somebody likes, it might not be an issue, but it'll be used if maybe this guy doesn't look right to somebody, then it becomes an issue and they'll get a complaint and called up. But why even have these rules? I mean, come on. We're all adults, we're all adults, we're all individuals. We deserve to make up our own mind. If we want to have a drink at a park on a nice day, sit back and drink a bottle of wine, what's the harm in it, really? I mean, what's the harm? We're not hurting anybody. The same thing, if I'm in a car, I'm on a long ride, why can't I just have a beer in the passenger side of the car? If the driver's not drinking, he's not drunk, what harm is there? There's no harm, and there's no victim, and it's just crazy that we still have these laws on the books. I think we need to get rid of all of them in New Jersey. Not, let's just get rid of all of the alcohol laws. Let's get rid of all these layers of licensing and protectionist, crony capitalism, the alcohol lobby. Let's just get rid of all of it. Let's start over. If it becomes an issue where, alcohol deaths are skyrocketing for whatever, let's revisit. But right now, we have these laws that are just don't make sense. They just don't make sense, and they ruin people's lives. People get a DWI, or they get, just some of these crazy laws. They could get into a lot of trouble, and I just don't agree with them. So while the Libertarian Party is focusing on marijuana and harder drugs, I think we also need to keep an eye on, let's just decriminalize and deregulate the alcohol industry. This is a no-brainer. I think we can get, especially in New Jersey, we could get a lot of people, especially in the state and the state level, and in the towns. Maybe we can use Faulkner, which I'll talk about at some other broadcast here, but we can use the Faulkner Act to decriminalize some of the alcohol stuff in the local municipalities. I'll have to look into whether or not we can do anything with increasing the number of licenses or changing the hours, but certainly we should try to minimize the government's impact into alcohol. And that's about it. I'd like to hear some comments and have a discussion about this. So please comment on this and share the videos. I'm here to promote liberty, finding liberty, and liberty first. I'm somebody who believes that let's find out, let's follow our liberties. I'm a hardcore libertarian, but let's really focus on liberty first. Let's find out what we can do to promote liberties and become freer. That's my main goal. All right, thanks. Tom Macheski, Libertarian, New Jersey. Thanks.